What's up, everybody? Taking a little break here from sawing up a fallen tree on my property. There's actually two fallen trees, more like fallen massive limbs, but yeah, so while I was cutting it up with a chainsaw, I was thinking of an idea for a quick video. I talked about VLOOKUP earlier and how helpful it is when you're creating your own spreadsheet to use for DFS. And I think we need to take it a step further and talk about VLOOKUP when used with defined ranges. So if you don't know what defined ranges are, I'm going to show you, and what it's going to allow you to do in a nutshell is have a master like source data sheet that your main spreadsheet, your model from which you work, will pull numbers from. So what we're going to do is we are going to learn VLOOKUP used with, geez Louise, named defined ranges. Okay? So the first thing we need to do is we need to create our master data sheet. And so on this spreadsheet, I have two separate sheets. It might cut off at the bottom of the screen here, but if I pull it up a little bit, yeah, whatever. You know how to create multiple sheets. So I have two sheets. The first sheet, which I'm on right now, this is where my model is going to live, but we're not touching that right now. We're going to the other sheet where all the data is going to live. So we're just going to make a simple barrel splits sheet for batters. And one thing that I've been thinking about lately, which might be just something interesting to play with, is what I have right here. Not just selecting barrels, but also selecting solid contact. It's like solid contact is like it's like a poor man's barrel. So I mean, those are worth knowing, right? So maybe including those will give us a little more insight into what we're trying to investigate. So what we're going to do, first of all, is we are going to do our little plate appearance workaround. As I mentioned before, one of the downsides, and tweet me if you know this better solution for this, one of the downsides to StatCast search is that it only lists things through the lens of total pitches, not total plate appearances. So the way I get around that is I just change the count to 0-0. Everybody has to be at a 0-0 count, 0-0 count at some. I mean, for every plate appearance starts with an 0-0 count. But not everyone gets to the second pitch, as we all know. So that is the little plate appearance workaround here. And so I want to make a splits sheet. I want to look at who has the highest rate of barrels in solid contact against left-handed pitchers and who has the highest rate against right-handed pitchers. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure all our search terms are good. Okay, we know that this is for plate appearances. Pitcher handedness is left, 2019 season. Yeah, we're good. So this is the result of the search. You can see Charlie Blackmon has the most plate appearances against left-handed pitchers, followed by John Villar, etc. So we'll go, all the way to the bottom. We've got 708 players, including pitchers. And we'll copy all this up to rank, and then we'll put it in our sheet. Now note, you can save the search and it'll come up in a CSV, but this is faster. Okay, and we're going to paste it in right here. Remember, Command-Shift-V or Control-Shift-V to paste without formatting. Okay, so this looks, really sloppy, but it doesn't matter because this is not what we're going to be working off of. This is just where our data is going to live. So what I'm going to do is I just don't want to delete anything. I don't want any extra work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the 5 cells in row 1. Notice I pasted in row 2. And I'm going to merge. So I just click Help, and I just write Merge all cells. And I'm going to write total plate appearances versus left-handed pitching. And I also like to center everything. Okay, so there. Now we're going to copy this merged 5 cells and paste it in F. And it'll be total plate appearances versus right-handed pitching. And then we're going to paste in K. Total barrels plus solid contact versus left-handed pitching. And in P, paste total barrels and solid contact versus right-handed pitching. And so we now go back to our StatCast search tab for plate appearances, and we switch pitcher handedness to right. Hit search. Do your thing, baseball savant. And we're good. All right, we'll go all the way to the bottom. The data is still loading. Lots and lots and lots of batters. 811 batters have had a plate appearance this year against right-handed pitching. Cool. All right, we'll copy that, go back to our data sheet. In column F, row 2, right, it's going to be under total plate appearances versus right-handed pitching. Just do Command or Control-Shift-V. Okay, got it. All right, next we need total barrels and solid contact versus left-handed pitching. And note, whenever you want to update this, what you can do is you just bookmark this search query, just, Command D, and bookmark it. You can call it plate appearances splits. All right, and so every time you're looking to update this, you just open this up and copy it and just paste it over the tables. Okay? Yeah, I know. There's HTML lookup, whatever, but it's not working. And for Baseball Savant, doesn't work for Fangraphs. For me, at least, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, if I'm doing something wrong. So if I am and just hit me up, please. I'm all ears. But regardless, this is pretty quick. Okay, so we're done with plate appearances. Next, we're going to do StatCast search, solid contact and barrels. Okay, so we highlight this, and I'm just going to get moving here because you're probably like, all right, get to the damn defining range already, you dope. I am, I promise. And barrels and solid contact versus right-handed pitching. Okay. Oh, baby, come on. 524. There's about 300 guys that haven't had a barrel or a solid contact event. All right, So everything is good. If you want, you can make lines and divide it up so that your data at least is just visually for your purposes separated. Whatever works. Okay, so we're good. Now, what we need to do is we need to define our ranges. So in total plate appearances, I only need two things: the name, so I click on the B, and the results. So I just highlight columns B and C, right click, and I scroll down to defined named range. And I'm going to call this range PA versus left-handed pitching. Done. And now I'm going to define for right-handed pitching, add a range. PA versus right-handed pitching. And then the barrels in solid contact. BSC versus left-handed pitching. And BSC versus right-handed pitching. Okay, all my ranges are defined. Okay, so here's my suggestion. What you're going to do then is you are going to go to RotoGrinders projections. Wait for it to load up. Oh, look at that. Lineup HQ is free today. I'll have to tweet that out. If you're into max entry. All right, so let's look at the main slate. Now you notice that I only, on my view, have name, salary, hand, team, the position, batting order, and the opposing pitcher. Okay, so we'll get to this in a second with the opposing pitcher, where you can take it a step further. All right, name. You have to copy one column at a time. It's annoying, and you can download this as a CSV, but all that's going to come up is, well, I'll show you what comes up. So we'll download that as a CSV. Actually, you know what? No. The reason we don't download it as a CSV is because it downloads every game playing that day rather than just the main slate. For today, that's not a big deal because you just have to remove the Reds and Rockies. But whatever, we're just going to do it like this. So we copy the name column, go over here, go to our first sheet, and we're going to paste that in there. Command-Shift-V, Control-Shift-V. And now we're going to go to our salary column. So I guess what you're looking at here is just me, like, also building out, like, an infant model, like a model in its infancy stages. So I guess that's cool. Copy the team. The position. So this is also, one thing that's a little annoying, but, in the midst of me talking and slowly walking you through this stuff, if you're doing this yourself, well, I'll speak for myself. If I'm doing this myself, I can do all this stuff in a few minutes. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. I know a lot of people over time have, like, given me crap about, not using import HTML religiously. And I know it's annoying, I get it, but I mean, this isn't that big of a deal, to be honest with you. Okay. So what you have here, we've pulled the projected hitters, some of whom are already confirmed with the green check mark. You have the hitters for tonight, okay? And we're going to get the data from every hitter that has played this season. And it's because we only care about who's playing tonight. We don't care about the other 700 guys. It's not relevant right now. Like, yeah, it's fun to look at like all the stats and everything, but for DFS, like, I want to eliminate every single player that's not playing tonight because they're irrelevant. And so this is how I do that. All right. So we got that there. Now what we need to do is we need to go to the pitchers. And do the main slate. I feel like my fan is on right now. It's really loud. I'm sorry. Actually, hang on a second. Never mind. I was looking for my Apple headphones. Yep, here they are. So you don't have to hear this fan. Oh, crap. These are my lightning cable ones. Oh, all right, sorry. All right, so we got our pitchers. And we're going to put the pitchers over here, just all the way at the end. And all we need is the pitcher's hand. Okay. Let's go back here. Let's write hand, VLOOKUP. We're looking for Dario Agrizal in columns YZ. That's where I pasted those pictures all the way on the right, columns YZ. And we're looking at column 2. And we need to put a comma just to tell it that the pictures aren't sorted. So it has to account for that. Hit enter, click on it, and click the blue box to drop it all the way down. All right, so we got the pitcher's hand. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get batter, barrel at soft contact rate versus hand. I mean, that's a mouthful right there. You could abbreviate it. That's why I come up with these like crush ratings or whatever. Because batter BSC percentage versus hand. Doesn't really roll off the tongue. All right. So what my goal here is to get the batter, like so in this case Dominic Smith. I want his barrel and soft contact, I don't want that. Barrel and solid contact rate versus right-handed pitchers. You see Dario Agrizal's a right-handed pitcher. But to make this easier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort the pitcher column by hand. So all the righties and then all the lefties. So what we're going to do is we're going to go equals VLOOKUP, and we're going to search for Dominic Smith in BSC versus right-handed pitching. Okay, so it's going to pull Dominic Smith's Dominic Smith's, I'm losing my mind here. His barrel soft, oh my God, I almost said it again. His barrel and solid contact rate, number of barrels and soft contact. Holy crap, guys. I am going to continue to say this no matter how. I need to write it down and put it like on a sticky note next to me. Barrel and solid contact. BSC. Let's just call it BSC. Okay, reset. Dominic Smith's BSC versus right-handed pitching. Okay, and we're looking, let's refresh our memory here. We're looking at column 2. Okay, because the range is column G, the name, and column H, the results. That's plate appearances. Column Q and R. Okay, that's where it's pulling it. But I don't care about what columns are because I defined the range. Now all I need to know is the name of the range. Okay, so it's column 2, and don't forget the comma at the end. Okay, so Dominic Smith has 18 BSCs versus right-handed pitching. Now I need to divide that. So I need to put a parentheses around the whole VLOOKUP portion of the formula for BSC versus right-handed pitching. And I need to divide it by VLOOKUP Dominic Smith PA versus right-handed pitching, comma, 2, comma, close parentheses. Close parentheses. What did I do wrong? I'm like, here, I got an idea. PA, there. All right. So that's your formula right there. Now we're going to drag it all the way down. Keep going. Keep going. And we're going to take it to the very first instance of a batter versus a left-handed pitcher. We're going to click on it, and then we're going to change the right-handed pitchings to left-handed pitchings. And then we're going to just double tap, and it's there. All right. Next, I want to fix these NAs. So one of the downsides to copying data from multiple sites and using VLOOKUP and defining ranges is that the names are not always the same. What I mean by that is Matt Duffy. Matt Duffy on RotoGrinders is Matt Duffy, but I bet you on Baseball Savant he's Matthew Duffy. Okay, I'm wrong. He's not Matthew Duffy. Let's see what he is. Duffy. Okay, Matt Duffy. That was against left-handed pitch. Now I gotta freeze this here so I can see it. Freeze one row. Okay, so we have Matt Duffy, plate appearance versus left-handed pitching. Plate appearance versus left-handed pitching. Oh, Danny Duffy. Ah, so Matt Duffy's only done it. Yeah, so, okay, so Matt Duffy does not compute. It can't compute anything for Matt Duffy against a right-handed pitcher. So we're going to delete that. We don't have it. Or it's a 0. I mean, it's a 0. Okay, Roman Quinn. Same deal. Roman Quinn. First left. First left. So he hasn't done it against a righty. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. surely has, but I know with Vladdy you need to put a period after Jr. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Dwight Smith, for whatever reason, Dwight Smith, you need to delete the period. Trust me, I've done this before. Jake Bowers instead of Jacob Bowers. Fernando Tatis Jr. Ronald Acuna Jr. Richie. I'm never going to use him, but Richie Martin. Yuli. Gurriel. Zach Green. Well, how about this? Let's keep going. Albert Amora Jr. Nicolas Castellanos. Christopher Negron. Bobby Wilson. Jackie Bradley Jr. Let's resort. So we have Zach Green, Christopher Negron, and Bobby Wilson. I bet you these guys haven't. So we're looking for them against lefties. So Zach Green. He has not done it. Negron. Not done it. And Bobby Wilson also has not done it. So we'll put those guys as zeros. You a zero, dude. You suck. All right. Next thing. Highlight that column. Go to format, number, percent. And you got it now. So now you have batter, barrels, solid contact. Yes, I said it. Percentage rate versus the handedness of the pitcher he is facing tonight. Now what can you do? Now you can do all the fun things. All the fun things. So first of all, what you can do is you can add that conditional formatting. Ooh, baby. Do you like to do it with red at the top, or do you like to do it with green at the top? I'm a green guy. For green is good. I see a lot of people that do red. All right. First of all, I'm going to text wrap this, and we're going to vertically align in the center. We're going to make this a bit smaller. And we'll call it BAT, BSC, first hand. There, that's much better. All right. So what can you do? One thing you can do is you can look at position scarcity. Second base. All right. And you can look at some good matchups. So you got, what is this? 3, 6, 7 guys with above average situations tonight. You can do it with shortstop. More than 3. Oh, man, let's check out first base, catcher. Way more. Now you guys know, remember, you got to check out the second baseman and shortstop landscape before you start making all these grand decisions. There's a buttload of outfielders, catcher, first baseman, and, third baseman. Certainly less than first, catcher, outfield, but definitely more often than not more than second and short. Absolutely second. So you can look at position scarcity and kind of get an idea of like who you're working with here. Another thing you can do is you can sort by salary. You can say, okay, like, damn, these top guys are in sick matchups. Encarnacion, I mean, he can hit it out against anybody, but, this isn't ideal for him. Mookie Betts, and if you want, like, you can look at, you can put another column here and do their other hand splits, but, I just don't care. Like, I'm not trying to look at any data that is going to confuse or distract me. All I want to see is what applies for tonight. I don't care about other players. I don't care about what Mookie Betts does against right-handed pitchers because he's facing a lefty. And if he's facing the bullpen later on, then, it is what it is. All I care about is the fact that he's probably going to face James Paxton 3 times, and I want those 3 at-bats to be high probability at-bats. And is Mookie Betts, a complete non-use tonight? Absolutely not. But, it's not ideal for him when you look at the guys around him in salary. At least what we're doing right now. Altuve, Rizzo, ideally they're not facing the handedness of pitchers here that we're looking at, and so on and so forth. You can even sort low to high. And you can see Howie Kendrick looks like great value. I mean, Ryu is just a stud this year, but at 2,200, I mean, it's batting 5th. I'm sitting right here in Frederick, Maryland, 40 minutes north of DC, and it's a beautiful, sunny, warm, 90-degree day. I don't know. You never know with Howie Kendrick. He's cheap. Tyler Austin against Joey Lucchesi. Lucchesi is supposed to be like mega chalk. And, Austin, batting 3rd, 2,100. Willy Adames against Jacob. And he's batting 9th, but he's a shortstop at Min-Sal. Like, holy shit balls. Like, that's awesome. So that's one way you can do it. Another way that you can do it is you can sort by order, and then you can sort by team. And now every team is going to be listed 1 through 8 or 1 through 9. And you can look at hot spots in the lineups. So Arizona going against Sandy Alcantara. Looks like they are better against righties. Could I look that up on Fangraphs or something and see like who are the best teams against righties and lefties or whatever? Like, yes, I can, but this gives me like more of a DFS focused perspective. Looking at the lineup here, I'm looking at salaries, I'm looking at the fact that, their top 3 guys, 4 of their top 5, and 6 of their top, 5 of their top 7 are all low barrel solid contact rates against right-handed pitchers. So, I mean, other than Alex Avila, and Jake Lamb, maybe Eduardo Escobar, I mean, there's not a lot to really worry about here based on this data point. And you can just look at the lineup and see that. Like, I'm not really interested in stacking Arizona. Let's freeze this row. Always freeze your rows, please. Okay. Atlanta, I mean, you got a murderer's row up here against Arrieta, but afterwards it's like a black hole, So, it's, I mean, is 1 through 4 a good stack for Atlanta? Yeah, sure. Problem is that it's going to be harder for them to turn that lineup over, based on this 5 times as opposed to 4 times. I mean, obviously Arrieta is not going to pitch the entire game, but you get my point. Like, after Donaldson, it's just a drop-off. John Villar, had a hell of a game last night, playing against the Angels in late night affair. But, at least according to this, you'd rather him be facing a lefty, batting right-handed, But Mancini, Renato Nunez, Santander, Chris Davis. Whew. I mean, it's not great, but in the middle of that Orioles lineup, like, there's some threatening guys there. So, I mean, I don't know. They're cheap. So I'm not going to go through everybody here, but you get what I'm saying is, like, you can really just kind of get a handle on things for stacking much easier doing it this way. One other thing I like to do is let's highlight all of that. We'll go to help and we'll write pivot table, new sheet. And our rows will be the team, and our values will be bat BSC versus hand, and we'll do average. And then we'll highlight this pivot table, and I always like to, in my sheets, and you can't see what I'm writing here, but I just call it scratch paper. I always like to have an extra tab just where I can like mess around with little ideas with pivot tables. So in addition to having your main model sheet and your data sheet, you can also add just a little scratch paper sheet that's very helpful just to have where you can paste things and mess around and then just delete it. So tonight, based on who is either confirmed or projected to play, average BSC. So Minnesota, Milwaukee, Boston. The average BSC percentage for Minnesota leads the slate at 11.8, and the worst is KC at 7.3. So let's go over to Minnesota. Let's delete this pivot table here. We don't need it anymore. Let's go to Minnesota. Ooh, even better idea. Look at this. Team BSC percentage versus hand. And we will add that to the range. And we'll text wrap it. All right, you ready for this? You ready for this one? We can't do that yet. We have to name this range. Now you see what I'm doing. Define name range, team BSC. Well, let's just call it team. Team. Go team. And we will do V, lookup, Arizona, team, column 2, comma, enter. Send that baby all the way down. Do a little conditional formatting because we like to format based on conditions. Done. Boom. And now we can sort by team BSC. Oh, snap. So let's make sure the order still stays intact. Sort Z to A. All right, so the number one team for BSC tonight is Minnesota. And the number one guys on Minnesota are Jason Castro, Nelson Cruz. Jason Castro, what are you doing, man? I would actually like it more if you batted ninth, because then you could do like a wraparound stack. But yeah, I mean, look, you could do 1 through 5. You know, like on DK you could for sure. On fantasy draft you could do 6 of them, which is crazy. But yeah, on FanDuel, I mean, like Polanco at short. Sano, they moved back to third. That's awesome. And then 2 outfielders. Like, there's a stack right there. By the way, let me share this with everybody right now. So if you're watching, you can get up in here. Anyone with the link can view. Remember, if you want to sort stuff, you have to go click here and do custom, new, whatever the hell it is. I posted the GIF of it already. New filter something. Look at this horrible Twitter. Oh my God. Oh, thanks, Patrick. Here's the sheet I'm live streaming on right now if you want to get in. There. You want it? There it is. Who's next? Boston against James Paxton. So, I mean, the middle of the order right there, Xander, JD, Vasquez, bat fifth perhaps. I don't know if it's confirmed, but that would be awesome. Only 2,700. Christian Vasquez. Oh, I'm looking at pictures. Braves heavily weighted because of oh my God. I got another one, guys. I got another idea. Another idea. We're going to highlight everything. We're going to go make a pivot table. New sheet. Our rows are team. Our values are bat BSC versus hand, and we're looking at the standard deviation. Oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome. Copy that over here. Let's sort this alphabetically. Is it sorted alphabetically? It is. BSC standard deviation. I don't even need conditional formatting over there. I don't even know why I have it. Delete. Bye. All right, so we're going to go take this one. Let's put it right here. But we're going to change it to column 3. Oh, and I got to make sure that it's... Oh, yeah, yes. I have to fix this range here. AC. Done. So now you have the standard deviation, and what that will do is that will let you see which teams have like the most volatility based on their BSCs. And if we give that conditional formatting, we want low volatility. And the lowest volatility, BSC volatility, is Cleveland. But this one right here, Yankees against Cashner, low volatility. So they're all kind of average, outweighed heavily by Judge. You know, Boston looks pretty good. So I figure if you look at team BSC and high team BSC, low volatility, you can find a team that has like perhaps a higher probability of going off on a pitcher, and then you just pick the best BSC guys in that team and stack them. Okay, so that was way more than I anticipated I was going to do, but I appreciate you watching. And as always, if you have any questions, let me know. I know some people have asked a couple questions. I haven't gotten back to you yet. I'll try to, but now it's time for me to go outside and keep cutting this tree up. All right, see y'all. Good luck. Take care.